Hey there, and welcome to my best and worst films of 2025. I've been doing this every year, so just trying to stay consistent. As usual, is just my opinion. And some of the movies here I really love, and there's certain days where I would rank them higher or lower. I don't view the top 10 lists or whatever as being set in stone. There will always be movies that I'll add to it in the future. Now we can get into the best and worst films of 2025, starting with number 20, Predator: Badlands. This is from director Dan Trachtenberg, who directed Prey, of course, and also 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is a great movie until the very end when it becomes a terrible movie. You know, I really like Prey. I think that's a great action movie. I was rewatching that, and I thought Predator: Badlands was great as well. It's a fun Predator movie. It seems like this director really knows how to make that kind of thing. And yeah, it's fun. It's got good action. The CGI is great. It basically focuses on the Predator. It's the first Predator movie where the Predator is the main character and we follow him. While I was watching it, I didn't really think about it being PG-13, but when it was over, I was like, oh yeah, I guess there was no humans being killed in the movie or getting ripped apart. It was all just androids and stuff like that, you know, with the white blood, or predators which have the green blood, but there were no humans being killed. I saw Predator: Badlands in 4DX, which was fucking insane. One of the coolest theater experiences I had last year. Just shit flying in your face and whatever. That made it fun, the 4DX experience, because the world of the film, the Predator Badlands world, was all hostile plants and animals all trying to kill you, shit flying at you, plants that would shoot out stuff and would fly at the camera, and the seats would shake, and there was all these effects. It was really cool. Yeah, whenever there was like blood or something, the water would fling at you. Yeah, definitely one of the coolest 4DX experiences last year. Yeah, probably maybe my favorite 4DX movie, just because it was a good movie and it really utilized the 4DX. Number 19 is Blue Moon, directed by Richard Linklater. I saw this film at the New York Film Festival with my buddy Cam. On an evening in 1943, legendary lyricist Lawrence Hart confronts his shattered self-confidence in Sardi's bar as his former collaborator celebrates the opening night of his play, Oklahoma. Well directed, it was well acted, it kind of utilized that one location very well. It didn't get like boring, or it didn't feel dragged out. Ethan Hawke in the movie was fantastic, and you know, I didn't know a lot about the subject matter of the movie. You know, it's about like the Oklahoma play and kind of the writer of it and his relationship with this other writer who is not as successful as him, played by Ethan Hawke. And, you know, he's like an alcoholic and he's struggling with that. And he's struggling with the fact that he's a closet homosexual. It's very well acted and well written. And yeah, very, very subdued. Definitely one of the best movies of last year, I thought. Number 18 is Die My Love. A woman is struggling with mental and emotional instability, and she fights to maintain her sanity in the middle of her marriage and reality falling apart. It's a brutal and emotional look at postpartum depression. It's full of amazing performances, including Robert Pattinson, and Jennifer Lawrence is incredible in this movie. She gives an excellent performance. Do I think it's perfect? No, but I definitely really thought it was great, and I definitely think it is worth a spot on this list. Number 17 is Fantastic Four: The First Steps. Marvel's first family gains their powers and must learn to work together while facing an early cosmic scale threat that tests them as heroes and as a family. I think of all the superhero films I've seen this year that were good, probably my favorite. There was a lot of stuff I liked. I really liked Thunderbolts, I really liked Superman, but at the end of the day, I think Fantastic Four was the one I was looking forward to the most, and I think it is just the best movie overall. I think it really delivered on the heart of a Fantastic Four, on bringing Stan Lee's and Jack Kirby's vision to life. Great, like, character moments and interactions. Like, the Fantastic Four didn't feel stupid. I love the way they depicted Galactus. I loved how it was more of a focus on, like, them being scientists and them exploring space and the unknown. sort of like Star Trek and 2001: A Space Odyssey, stuff like that. I don't know. I thought overall it was my favorite. It looked great. It sounded great. Great music, I mean. And yeah, it was just great performances. I thought Pedro Pascal was really solid. Vanessa Kirby doing the best fake births in Hollywood, of course. That other movie she's in, Pieces of a Woman, yeah. And she's, she's pregnant in that, and she gives birth in that movie, and then in this movie she gives birth. It's like, we need Vanessa Kirby's in this movie. We need to write in a scene where she gives birth. Vanessa Kirby does the best fake birth scenes in Hollywood. Train Dreams, a quiet character study about a laborer working on railroads in early 20th century America, reflecting on loneliness, nature, and the passing of time. This is a great and introspective period piece, lots of solid performances. There were points where it could have gone a corny direction with the story, and I never felt it did. It was just very simple and subtle, and just about this guy's life and how time just kind of slips away. Has beautiful cinematography, a haunting atmosphere, and really incredible music from Nick Cave. Joel Edgerton was great. Felicity Jones. I really enjoyed William H. Macy in the movie. That was a funny character, very memorable. Number 15 is The Smashing Machine, a biographical drama about MMA legend Mark Kerr, focusing on his fighting career, personal struggles with drugs, and the cost of a life in professional combat sports. It isn't as good as Marty Supreme, but it's still a good movie. It's different. It's a character study, and it's very well done. It's well shot. Dwayne Johnson is great in the movie. He's fantastic. The makeup wasn't distracting. It totally transformed him into like this character, and you believed this character. And the way it sort of explored, drug use and steroids and that stuff was great. And it was, really fucked up. It was raw and it was emotional. It was a tough and complicated look at this guy's life. And it was carried basically by the central performance of Dwayne Johnson, who is terrific in the movie. Emily Blunt was also great. I did think Marty Supreme was better. It's definitely, Marty Supreme is like the flashier, more faster-paced, fun movie. But I thought Smashing Machine was also great, and I definitely recommend you check it out.
Big strong man, I love you. Think he wants your autograph?
Sure, no problem. No fighting.
Number 14 is Black Bag, directed by Steven Soderbergh. Black Bag is a tense espionage thriller centered on intelligence operatives caught between loyalty, secrets, and betrayal. It has a great story, lots of great acting, and Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender are great. It's a sharp, old-school spy thriller. There's no action in it. It's not all fucking gunshots and boom, boom, boom. Like it's not a boring movie. It's not an action movie. It's just about, characters doing, sneaky things and, very realistic stuff. It feels very realistic. Even though I don't really know anything about that stuff, it's enough to, make you buy into the world. But at the same time, it's kind of easy to follow. And it's all centered around this whodunit mystery. I love Steven Soderbergh. He's one of my favorite directors, and this is classic Soderbergh. His precision, his way he works with actors, the storytelling, it's great. I love the movie. Put it in the black bag. Number 13 is The Mastermind. A thief attempts to pull off an elaborate plan while staying ahead of law enforcement and rivals. This is a great movie. I saw it at New York Film Festival, and the more I think about it, the more I liked it, and the more I thought it was just one of the best movies I saw at the festival. I thought, Josh O'Connor was great in the movie, and Alma Hayne was funny. A small part, and yeah, it was just funny how he used his family to commit crimes. Whatever. That was pretty funny. This is a Kelly Reichardt film who did First Cow and Showing Up and Wendy and Lucy. I haven't seen some of her other films, but this is a director who's been, I like her stuff. It's definitely slower paced, but I feel for her movies, this one's actually pretty accessible because it is a comedy. You are following like this guy who's like a criminal and his life is falling apart. He totally deserves it. Funny and very entertaining. And it definitely had that director's unique style that I was looking for. It's really carried by those performances and the fact that those characters feel very believable and you enjoy following them throughout the movie. And it wasn't too long either. It was just like in and out, did its job. Yeah, very entertaining. Definitely check out The Mastermind. I thought it was very good. Number 12, The Phoenician Scheme, from director Wes Anderson. It follows a powerful tycoon in the Middle East and his estranged daughter as they become entangled in a massive infrastructure plot. This is a great movie. It's got that trademark Wes Anderson style. It's not one of his best movies. I preferred Asteroid City, but it's still just great and slick and full of great performances and funny scenes. I really liked Michael Cera in the movie. He has an obviously fake, like laughably fake accent, but there's a purpose to it. It was well done. It was well told. It has, like, at this point, Wes Anderson, he's perfected his style. It's got a great cast, including Benicio del Toro and newcomer, what's her name? Mia Trepelton? Something like that. But she was great, and she was great in the movie. So definitely check this one out. Number 11, It Was Just an Accident. A seemingly minor incident triggers a chain reaction of consequences, exposing hidden tensions between characters connected by fate and guilt. It's tense, morally complex, and extremely well shot. The filmmaking is precise and controlled, pulling you into this gripping story about justice, memory, and revenge. This is one of the best movies of the year, and I definitely recommend you check it out. Number 10. Now we're in the top 10. Number 10, I'm going to put Sentimental Value. Sentimental Value is a family drama centered on our legacy and our relatives confronting that legacy and long buried kind of tragedies in their family. And also you see like these characters like making a movie about it, and they're dealing with their own family conflict, father being estranged from the woman from Worst Person in the World, Renata Rensve. Yeah, and how she's like estranged from her father, Stellan Skarsgård, and Elle Fanning's playing this part that he wrote really for her. It's very well shot, very well acted. It's a beautifully crafted drama with emotional weight, really strong performances. I thought Stellan Skarsgård was fantastic in this movie, and everyone was great. Even Elle Fanning. I liked how it switched between English and, is it Swedish or whatever, Norwegian? It's very visually elegant is a good word for it, and it was very intimate. It's a movie that has lingered in my brain since I've seen it. I still think about it, and I think about visuals from it and how beautiful it was. Definitely check out Sentimental Value. Number 9, I'm going to put Marty Supreme. Charismatic ping pong player chases success while navigating ambition, ego, and personal costs. Marty Supreme is from one of the Safdie brothers, the other Safdie brother bringing us Smashing Machine. Some people might put it higher, which is fair. I definitely thought it was good. It's definitely one of the best movies of the year. I really enjoyed it. Timothée Chalamet was great. Kevin O'Leary was great in the movie, ultimately. And it was well made, and it's like kind of like a Whiplash kind of story, like him trying to rise up or whatever. Kevin O'Leary's sort of like the J.K. Simmons character. Again, it's sort of. It's not like exactly Whiplash. There's parallels to Whiplash, though, and Marty Supreme is funny. It's got a great pace to it. Everybody wants to. Number 8 is Weapons. 17 children from the same classroom mysteriously disappear at the same exact time, triggering an investigation that uncovers disturbing secrets in a small town. It just is one of the wildest movies I've seen from 2025. It absolutely delivered on everything it had to do. It 100% works. The audience was so with this movie the entire time. I definitely feel Zach Kreger, he makes horror movies, horror comedies, these weird, like, kind of genre bending things he does. Like, I really like his stuff. You just don't know where it's going the whole time in a very fun way. It's a very, very well written story, and it never gets like too, I don't know, like exploitative as far as like the children aspect of the story. I love the non-linear structure of it as well. There's just like so much to talk about with this movie that I love. I love the way it's made. I love the story. Many performances in the movie. Amy Madigan is excellent in the movie. One of my favorite performances of the year, for sure. Number 7 is 28 Years Later. Decades after the rage virus outbreak, survivors attempt to rebuild society. I love the original 28 Days Later. That's one of my favorite horror movies. Probably my favorite zombie movie. It's definitely one of the best zombie movies I've seen in a long time, because they've been pretty bad for the past, forever, or feels like forever. I mean, I don't know the last. It was just such a stale genre. There was all the after Walking Dead. There was so much zombie stuff, and it was so stale. And this movie had such a fresh take on it. It was kind of like Left 4 Dead. There were like different versions of zombies. There were like fat zombies that crawled on the ground, and there were big zombies that had big rip your heads off or whatever. And then there were like, the normal zombies. Then there was also just like Danny Boyle's really crazy style. The movie's shot on iPhone, and they got all these crazy angles. The camera does like 360 around people. I love the score for this movie. It was composed by a Scottish hip-hop group, Young Fathers. They did a great job with the score. I really like Bone Temple too, but the first 28 Years Later, it's just like Danny Boyle, Alex Garland, who I love. I love the movies he writes usually and directs as well. It's really scary. It's really an effective art house horror movie, which I love stuff like that.
7, 6, 11, 5, 4, 17, 32 the day before.
Number 6 is Formula One, the movie. I am not the biggest fan of Formula One, but I've become a fan over the past couple of years because I watched that Netflix show, Drive to Survive, and I like that show. And then I started watching the races, and I, was anticipating this Formula One movie, and it totally delivered. Like, as someone who enjoys Formula One and would consider myself maybe a new fan, I thought this movie was great. It totally delivers on what you want out of a Formula One movie. Is it a little cliche? Is it a little cheesy? Yes, but I think it still delivers on what you want. It's the same director as Top Gun Maverick, and that movie was very cheesy too. But it's not as good as a film as Top Gun Maverick, but it's almost as good. I like Formula One racing more than I do planes and stuff like that, so I was like, fuck yeah. And this movie's got some kick-ass racing scenes. It's got all of the guys you want to see, Lewis Hamilton, and Toto is in the movie, of course, and he has like speaking lines, but he was good. It wasn't like distracting when the people, the drivers or whatever showed up in the movie. I don't think the drivers really have many lines. I don't think they have any lines. They're just like in the background. Like, you see Max Verstappen, but he's just in the background. He doesn't say anything because he probably can't deliver a line. But like, the whole movie is basically carried by Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt is phenomenal in the movie. He's so charismatic, and you like his character. I liked his story of like, he used to be this racer, but he got out of the game, and then he kind of lost everything, and now this is his big comeback. He's got to win this race, and everything's against him. It's a good like comeback story. And is it cliche? Yeah, but it's really well done in the context of the movie, and what you want to see in the movie. And I think the crowd really ate this up. I think if you like Formula One and you like that Drive to Survive show on Netflix, you're going to love this movie. It's got a great score by Hans Zimmer. The music's fucking awesome. One of the best soundtracks of the year. Javier Bardem was great in the movie. Kerry Condon was excellent. So yeah, be quick and check out Formula One, the movie. Number 5 is Warfare, directed by Alex Garland. Ray Mendoza was the other director, and this is a movie following a platoon of American Navy SEALs as they get ambushed in Iraq, and it's a very realistic, accurate, true-to-life story of what happened to these soldiers. It says the entire movie is based on their memories, so nothing is exaggerated. And when you're watching the movie, it's very believable. Being in armed conflict and combat like that it's loud, it's nerve-wracking, there's no rules, and it's just scary and it's intense. And the movie makes you feel that. It's not cheesy or corny at all the way it presents the situation like your standard fucking Clint Eastwood schmaltz. But like the kind of shit you see in military movies, usually the guy misses his family and he looks at photos of his family and whatever. It's so corny, but this movie doesn't have any of that. It doesn't have any of that shit you see in like Act of Valor or something like that. All of the dialogue in this movie is like military talk. It's all just like the soldiers doing their codes and whatever.
Romeo, we need to evac at our last known position.
Alpha 2, we might have guys starting to move in our position.
That's all the dialogue. Like, and you don't know anything about these fucking people. You just, like, all you know is the situation, and all the drama comes from that. Yeah, such a great war movie. It totally delivered on what I want from this kind of movie. I loved Civil War as well, which was also Alex Garland, and that was more of it's kind of social commentary, political commentary. It had that phenomenal action sequence at the end, though, that raid on the White House. And this movie's like, all right, let's take that raid at the White House and make it the whole movie. And like just make it like one long military action scene, basically, and just explore those characters. And yeah, it's such a great movie. This is one of my favorite war movies in a while. And yeah, I love Alex Garland. So this movie had everything working for it. You know, Will Poulter was great. I admire how effective this movie was at telling that story of the soldiers and putting you in their perspective. Number 4, I'm gonna put Eddington. So Eddington is set during the 2020 pandemic, and you follow rival local leaders, including a sheriff played by Joaquin Phoenix, and they clash in this small American town. And the movie's about, you know, paranoia, political division, conspiracy theories, Antifa. And it's just like it all just breaks down into chaos and violence and stupidity. I love Ari Aster's movies. I always like his stuff, and I thought this was great. It's really funny. Ari Aster is usually known for horror, but he's been leaning more into comedies now with Beau is Afraid and now this. I love this movie. It's hilarious. It's well made. It's got great biting commentary. I have no other choice but to put No Other Choice at number 3. See what I did there? A desperate man facing financial ruin makes a dangerous decision that spirals him into crime, forcing him to confront how far he'll go to survive. Man, South Korea just makes the best movies. This movie is so well done. It's got these beautiful sequences and these elaborate camera moves. The camera sweeping, like flying across these, doing these grand movements, and all these terrific performances, and the story is so like all-encompassing. And this was a big year for social and political satire between this and Eddington and Begonia. And you know, this from being from a different country, it still has a lot of relatable elements to it. See No Other Choice on the biggest screen you can. I saw this at New York Film Festival way before any of you guys probably did. and I loved it. It was one of the best. It's probably the best movie I saw there. You know, this is Park Chan-wook, who did Old Boy, of course, and also The Handmaiden, which was my favorite movie the year it came out. Handmaiden, yeah, it was 2016. That was my favorite movie that year. Definitely check this one out. I love this movie. We're at number 2 now, and number 2, I'm gonna put Begonia. A paranoid conspiracy believer kidnaps a powerful businesswoman he thinks is secretly an alien. I love Yorgos Lanthimos' films. He makes great films. I love his stuff. This movie's great. It's one of his best, I think, more accessible movies. The acting from Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons is just phenomenal in this movie. Some of the best performances of the year. Emma Stone and Yorgos, they just work so well together. I don't know. They seem to just make great movies together. I feel like, yeah, the satirical kind of comedic tone of this movie, it's very like small scale. I feel like it makes it a little bit more accessible to people. I think a lot of people are turned off by the ending, but I like the ending, and I think I thought it was a great ending. I thought it was the perfect way to wrap it up, and that's probably why it was so high on my list. Number 1, I'm going to put One Battle After Another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. An ex-revolutionary is forced back into violent conflict when a corrupt military officer targets him and his daughter. It's inspired by the book Vineland, and it was retitled One Battle After Another, which is the perfect name for the movie because that's really exactly what this movie is about. It's about one battle after another. Not to sound corny, but that's truly what it is about. The story's constantly moving, and there's constantly this like focus on these battles that these characters have to fight. This is such a phenomenal movie. It's got phenomenal music, phenomenal acting, intense and beautiful and gut-wrenching and really funny. It's a long movie. It's almost 3 hours, but it's a movie where you don't mind the length at all because it's so entertaining. It's full of great performances, including Sean Penn, who should absolutely win an Oscar for this movie. One of the best villains I've seen in a movie in a long time. So memorable. But all the other performances, Benicio was great, and Leonardo DiCaprio was great, and the newcomer, the daughter, she was phenomenal in the movie too. Like, everyone in the movie was perfectly cast and phenomenal in the movie. I saw this movie twice, and the second time I saw it, it was in VistaVision, which is the way it's meant to be seen, I think. It's a big screen, but it's very tall. That was great. Like, seeing the movie that way, that theater experience, easily my favorite theater experience of the year. And it seemed like people were really into the movie. They were laughing. Not that I use that as a gauge for like how good a movie is. Like, people want to care what I think of the movie, right? But I'm just saying that made the movie a great experience. The fact that everyone was there enjoying it, and the fact that I was enjoying it too. It's a very accessible movie. It's a very funny movie, but it's so well made, full of beautiful cinematography and great needle drops. Do I consider Paul Thomas Anderson's best movie or one of his best movies? I don't know. I really have to think about that because it's pretty new. Is it as good as Punch Drunk Love or There Will Be Blood or, Boogie Nights, Magnolia? I mean, I have to think about it. I really do. But is it a great movie? Yes. Is it a great Paul Thomas Anderson movie? Yes. Is it full of great performances and everything you're looking for in a movie? Yes, yes, yes. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful to care when I'm watching a movie, to care about the characters. Yeah, it was awesome. Number 21, I'm gonna put Avatar: Fire and Ash. I really enjoyed this movie. Looks great in 3D. The visual effects are beautiful and stunning. Avatar: The Way of Water, like, all the action was at the end. In this movie, it was a little more action-packed. There was action spaced throughout the movie. Zoe Saldana and Sam Worthington are great in the movie. I think the antagonist characters have become much stronger in the Avatar series. The Stephen Lang character is pretty good at this point, and I like his relationship with Spider, even though I don't think Spider's the best actor. And then the Una Chaplin character is really good as well, and you know, I like that the crazy fire girl in the movie. Yeah, there were cool scenes in it, like that scene where they were tripping on drugs or whatever, like in 4D or whatever. That was crazy. Overall, I thought it was a fun Avatar movie, and it was something different, and I liked that it had, you know, James Cameron's unique directorial voice. So yeah, I definitely recommend Avatar Fire and Ash. It's probably still in theaters at this point, so if you haven't seen it, you should definitely see it in theaters and see it in 3D if you can. Mickey 17, this is kind of like an underrated one, but I really enjoyed this movie. Bong Joon-ho has a really unique directorial vision, and I thought he really captured this story and brought it to life in a really fun and unique way. I thought Robert Pattinson was great in this movie. I liked all his different, you know, personalities and clones. It's not one of Bong Joon-ho's like greatest movies. It's not like a masterpiece, but I thought it was a crowd pleaser for sure. Mission Impossible, what is it, Dead Reckoning Part 2 or whatever. Like, I kind of lowered my rating on this movie because look, the story is fucking stupid, okay? It's a stupid story. The characters I don't give a shit about. Like, I just watch for the action, really. But the action scenes in this movie are so fucking cool. That whole submarine sequence, seeing that in IMAX, that was one of the fucking coolest things ever, man. Like, that scene in IMAX. And yeah, like, that's what you watch a Mission Impossible movie for. Number 24, The Secret Agent. Yeah, so I enjoyed the movie. Thought it was a little long. Wagner Moura. Yeah, he was really good in it, and yeah, it was kind of weird he played, like, his son in the movie also. Not one of my personal favorites of the year, but I can see why people would like that one. 25 is Caught Stealing. I have seen the Aronofsky AI video or whatever that I don't know if he produced it or directed it. I mean, can you even say anyone directed an AI video? I'm not gonna let that AI video or series, whatever the fuck he made, that's terrible and unwatchable, I'm not going to let that affect Caught Stealing, or try not to let that affect my opinion on Caught Stealing. Because I did think Caught Stealing was a good movie. It's got good performances. It's really dark and kind of like has like these weird, darkly violent scenes in it that are really, it's like a very kind of mean and nasty movie at times. But I like that about the movie. And yeah, Austin Butler was great. I liked Zoe Kravitz in it. And yeah, it was good overall. I talked about that movie more on my podcast. Number 26, I'm going to put Thunderbolts. Really solid Marvel movie. It had a strong villain. There was strong kind of action scenes, and it was a little more scaled down. Some of them get kind of bogged down in like CGI shit, and it looked like there was a lot of practical stuff in this movie, a lot of practical action and stuff like that. And again, the characters were all just kind of, none of them were like godlike beings, except for the villain. But like Florence Pugh was just like an assassin, so there wasn't like too much crazy like CGI shit like you saw in like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. And next I'm gonna put Superman. Great superhero movie. There's days where I prefer it to Thunderbolts, some days I don't. I thought Superman was really enjoyable. I like James Gunn's take on it. And I'm looking forward to what DC have up their sleeve in the future. Hopefully some good stuff compared to what Zack Snyder was doing. Next is If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Funny, but also like really anxiety inducing. A lot of like yelling and stuff like that. But yeah, good casting in the movie, like Christian Slater, of course, Mr. Robot, and Conan O'Brien was really funny in the movie. I loved his just like deadpan expressions when, like, you know, she was going off telling her stories. He just like could not care less. Jay Kelly, so this is Noah Baumbach and explores George Clooney playing a huge celebrity, but this movie's almost kind of making fun of George Clooney and then like how much of like a joke like his legacy is. Sentimental Value, yeah, it has that same kind of story where it's like a guy out of touch with his kids because he's been so focused on becoming famous and his film career and his ego. Sentimental Value is definitely a better movie, but Jay Kelly explored a similar thing in, you know, kind of more Noah Baumbach-y style. It's a good movie. You know, it wasn't like a waste of time or whatever, like some of the other movies on this list. It was well made, it was well shot, it was funny. Like Adam Sandler was great in the movie, which is so funny because an Adam Sandler character in the movie is supposed to be like a fucking nobody. He's just like Jay Kelly's assistant in the movie. And yet Adam Sandler is such a huge celebrity. Next on my list is Frankenstein from Guillermo del Toro. I really liked the way this film was shot. Thought it had great production design, these big, elaborate sets, you know, and some good performances. Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi was really good as Frankenstein, and I enjoyed Nia Goth. And it just felt more true to the Mary Shelley story, way more so than the original Frankenstein movie, which is, of course, a classic. But it was also cool to see, you know, this new take on the story, which is more faithful to Mary Shelley's version. Mirrors number 2. I saw this at New York Film Festival. And yeah, just like a short, straightforward, but good movie about kind of grief. Yeah, it's good. It's the same director as Undine, which I've talked about that movie before on one of my other best of the year lists. Christian Petzold's the name of the director. Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, a small scale story, drama. But it's good for what it is. I definitely recommend it. Wake Up Dead Man. Yeah, it was funny. I felt compared to some of the other movies, the actors weren't as well used. Some of the characters felt pointless. Josh Brolin was great. I liked him talking about, you know, masturbating or whatever. That was funny.
I've masturbated 4 times this week, 4 or 5 generally, and what I say, 6 weeks? Well, let's say 30 times masturbated. This week in my bed, in the morning once in the shower, standing up, which was convenient, just use the bath gel. Oh, once in the middle of the night after a dream about...
That's all right.
Next, I'm going to put Ballerina, a women-led action film set in the universe of John Wick. I definitely think it gets better in the second half. There's this sequence toward the end where there's this town in the Alps and all of the people who live there are secretly like assassins who try to kill Ana de Armas. Like, that scene is fun. That part of the movie is fun. When John Wick comes into it, Keanu Reeves at the end, that was fun. He was in the movie, I think, more than I expected him to be in it. Ana de Armas was good, and, you know, the choreography is what you'd expect from a John Wick movie. It's not the same director as the other John Wick movies. This one's directed by Len Wiseman, but I didn't think it was bad. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I was surprised Lance Reddick was in the movie, because they must have shot this a while ago if he was in it. At first I thought they used like CGI to like bring him back to life or whatever, like they did with the Star Wars movies. But yeah, that was crazy to even see him in the movie at all. Next, I'm gonna put Sisu: Road to Revenge. I did prefer this movie to the first Sisu, which I thought was fine, but I thought this movie was better. And yeah, it was just a solid, straightforward, stripped down action movie. It was very visually driven, not a lot of dialogue, except from the Stephen Lang character who plays the villain. And yeah, it was just a good, solid action movie. It was goofy, it was over the top, but I thought it worked. Next, I'm gonna put Companion. I didn't love this movie, but I thought it was serviceable. It did what it had to do. I just didn't think it really stood out. It was spectacular. I did think Jack Quaid was very good in the movie, and I thought Sophie Thatcher was very good in the movie. Next, I'm gonna put Havoc. I was a little let down by this movie, just as far as like a story. The story for this movie is pretty weak. That being said, this is a Gareth Evans movie, same director as The Raid and The Raid 2, so there was some really cool action in the movie. Yeah, I wish I could like it more, because there was some really cool action. VHS Halloween, I thought it was a good series of horror shorts overall. It's definitely trashy, campy horror movies, and you know, but I enjoy that sort of thing if it's well done and creative. And I think a lot of these horror shorts are. Maybe not all of them, but yeah, I thought this was probably one of the better VHS movies. Next is Novocaine. I thought it was a fun action movie. It didn't do much to wow me, and there were times I just felt it looked cheap. I did think it was better than Nobody 2. Next is The Amateur with Rami Malek. You know, it was a solid spy thriller. I like seeing Rami Malek as a hacker, and that's what this movie was. So it was serviceable. Late fame. I will say though, Greta Lee was really great in this movie, and you don't just have her reading like techno jargon exposition dump dialogue like in Tron. Final Destination, Bloodlines, it was fine. You know, it's the same shit as all the other Final Destination movies. I'm kind of just over it. Next is The Running Man. And, you know, Edgar Wright is, you know, I don't know what's going on. This movie is no Cornetto trilogy. It's a remake of a corny Schwarzenegger movie, which I've seen, and I like the original movie. I like this movie okay at times. There's some cool action in it, and I like the commentary about, like, you know, manipulating footage and stuff like that. Like, you know, a testament to the original Running Man that they were able to predict things like that, because in that movie they also manipulate footage and make it look like Schwarzenegger committed a crime so they could put him on the Running Man show. It's interesting commentary about our world and television and fame and oppressive governments, and I like all that stuff. It's not one of Edgar Wright's best movies, but I did prefer it to Last Night in Soho. So next on my list is Sinners. Haley Steinfeld was corny, and her acting was bad, and her dialogue was all terrible. Even Jack O'Connell, I thought he was much better in 28 Years Later and 28 Years Later Bone Temple. I didn't like it all that much. I mean, I'll still give it a 6. I'm not saying this to like make everyone angry or whatever. Next is The Monkey. You know, I like the performance of the lead guy. If I were to think of all the movies from that year, I would be like, The Monkey. Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. I mean, Weapons, that's like, obviously, like, to me, that's like almost a masterpiece. But, you know, compare that to The Monkey, where it's just like, next I'm going to put Tron Ares. I love the music, right? Nine Inch Nails. I love Nine Inch Nails. It looks great, right? Great, like, visual effects and cinematography and stuff like that. But it's all in service of this story that's just bleh. And this IP of Tron is just bleh. You know, the last Tron movie was fine. The director of the last Tron movie was Joseph Kosinski, who of course did Formula One and did Top Gun Maverick. But, like, that movie, it had rules, and I was able to follow it. This Tron movie has a lot of the same problems as all the Tron movies do. People make fun of, like, the Marvel movies or whatever, but, like, those characters are better characters than stock Jared Leto AI who feels emotions in this movie. Like, that character sucked. You know, he listens to Depeche Mode. Like, that's his character. Like, give me a fucking break. Jared Leto sucks. The characters are cardboard cutouts. The story sucks. And, you know, I don't want to sound like a broken record with this stuff, but I'm so sick of just, we have to regurgitate these old franchises because we're too lazy to come up with anything new, and we're also fucking complacent in it. I like it when Nine Inch Nails does music for a movie that actually has a good story, like Challengers, like David Fincher's movies. You know, like, it's not enough. What, I love the music. I love the action scene where, you know, they're riding in the water and they're playing the music from Nine Inch Nails and whatever. Like I was saying about One Battle After Another, right? Like, when things happen in that movie, I feel like the characters do. I'm happy or I'm sad or whatever because I care about what's happening. Oh, I'm an AI, but I feel like I'm a person and something like ugh. And then you have to drag out Jeff Bridges. You have to drag out Jeff Bridges, and, you know, no one even knows, like, anything about his character or whatever. Like, when you just see him, you just think of Jeff Bridges and you think of the dude in The Big Lebowski. You don't think of Tron. Like, no one knows his character in Tron or what his name is, or no one gives a fuck about Jeff Bridges' character in Tron, okay? It's not the same as when, like, you know, Nick Fury comes out or something. And they try to do this shit with everything now. Do we have to do this with every fucking IP? A House of Dynamite. The movie's kind of left open-ended. You know, maybe the bombs were just a false alarm or something, like they say in the movie. It could be. Or maybe they're not, and we don't know how to prepare. That's kind of the point, is like, if someone were to launch a nuke at us, we have no way of defending ourselves, really. The movie, it's kind of just dull because it doesn't have a resolution, like I said, because how do you resolve that? Also, it just keeps showing the same events happening over and over. We keep going back to the beginning and seeing the same events happen from a different perspective. It gets kind of monotonous. You know, also just like a little over the top as far as like how these military people would react. Next is Nobody 2. The action was fine, but it was either a lot of the same sort of action set pieces just done again. Like in this movie, it's a duck boat instead of a bus. They threw in characters from the other movie, even though it didn't make any sense. Bring her back. I didn't like this film as much as their previous movie, Talk to Me. That was a solid horror movie, solid horror debut. But this one, it just felt kind of mediocre. Next is Black Phone 2, just another horror movie. I just threw it in there. It's another Black Phone movie. It's got some cool visuals in it, but the story's dumb. Characters are dumb. There are these characters that you're supposed to hate, these like overly religious nut jobs who are like this old lady and this old guy, and then at the end of the movie, the Black Phone killer beats the shit out of them on like the ice on like the frozen lake or whatever, but like he doesn't kill them, you know? Like what the fuck's the point? Like he should have murdered those people. Like that's what I wanted to see. Next I'm gonna put the SpongeBob movie. A lot of these SpongeBob movies, they've been making a lot of them recently. They all kind of blend together for me. Like I don't know if it's better or worse than the last one I saw. They all kind of are the same at this point. They all end the same way with them going to like the live action beach. They like interact with live action characters. They all just like rip off the first SpongeBob movie. And they just like the jokes are kind of lame. I mean, I guess it's fine for kids. Like, here's the thing. Like, I don't hate the movie. I like SpongeBob. There's some parts in it where I chuckled because I chuckle at SpongeBob stuff and the characters or whatever. But, you know, like, at least it's like an original story. I mean, I know it's another SpongeBob movie, but it's not like the How to Train Your Dragon remake where they just like literally it's the same exact movie. At least this is like a new story with SpongeBob in it. Using some of the old characters and stuff, yeah. Honey Don't. I watched this while I was editing the video after I recorded. I had seen the first film, Drive Away Dolls, so I figured might as well check this one out, and even though I enjoyed that first one, and I thought it was fun and comedic, I didn't really feel it needed a sequel. Honestly, this one kind of fell flat for me. It just wasn't very memorable. I know this is part of a planned lesbian trilogy idea, but so far it's not really working. Next is The Accountant 2. Yeah, what the fuck? Why did they make... Is it The Accountant Squared? I've seen that. The Accountant Squared. Alright. But, like, why do we need an Accountant 2? Why did this happen? Was it better than Accountant 1? I don't know. Maybe. I saw both of them. I saw Accountant 1 right before seeing Accountant 2. Just so I knew what was going on. And there was nothing going on in Accountant 1, so there was no reason to see that movie. The only thing I took note of was, like, Anna Kendrick was in the first movie, and she's not in the second movie, I guess, because that character's not important. But yeah, I like, I guess, the dynamic between John Bernthal and the Ben Affleck character. I liked when they went, like, out drinking together. That's probably, like, the best scene in, like, both Accountant movies. Next is Highest to Lowest, a pitiful remake of the original Kurosawa film. Totally unnecessary. Everything they changed about the original movie made it worse. Like, everything they changed made the story not make sense and made it stupid. Like, Spike Lee is a talented director and Denzel Washington's a talented actor. Like, why did they do this? The scene where he gets the phone call that whatever, the kid got kidnapped or whatever, in this movie, it was so jarring. Like, seriously, it was so abrupt and jarring and poorly, like, orchestrated. I was shocked at how bad that part was. I can't believe A24, like, proves that. Captain America, The Brave New World. This movie fucking sucks. It is like, well, I won't even say it sucked, you know? because that would imply like I have some like really negative emotions toward it. I feel this movie is just nothing. It's just like watching paint dry the whole time. It's so boring and so nothing. And Harrison Ford looked like he didn't want to be there the whole time. Fuck, I don't care. Just give me the check.
As long as I'm not a Force ghost.
as long as it's not Star Wars, fine. What am I, the Red Hulk? Fine, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, he's done good stuff recently, like, you know, the Blade Runner and
Yeah.
the show Shrinking.
Like Lou Ferrigno. Like that's like the only reference for Hulk he probably has. Is like the show from the however many was that the 70s or
I think so, maybe like late 70s. Yeah, yeah, that was well before our time.
It's like the Lou Ferrigno show. Yes, Mr. Ford. It's like the Lou Ferrigno show. All right, I'll do it. And they give him like free tickets to Disney and like for his family, so shit like Disney probably does that. All this stuff with Harrison Ford was so predictable. You knew he was going to become the Red Hulk because it's all in the marketing, and it was so weird that they had to tie it in to the Incredible Hulk movie from like 2008. We had to tie into that movie fucking now, like just to wrap everything up. How to Train Your Dragon, the live action remake. Are you guys fucking kidding me with these reviews? It's the same exact fucking movie from a decade ago. It's the same movie, shot for shot. I said in my review of the original How to Train Your Dragon that I was anticipating this one, and I was anticipating it to see how bad it was gonna be, but I can't even say it's bad. I mean, it is bad, but it's the same exact movie. It even has the same director as the original How to Train Your Dragon, which, you know, if I was him, I would direct the movie too. It's like, what, you want me to direct the same exact movie and you pay me to direct the same exact movie shot for shot? Fuck yeah, let's do it. This movie is a joke. It's a fucking joke. Everything this How to Train Your Dragon live action movie did, it did worse than the original one. Every single thing, even little things, little jokes that were funny in the original movie are not funny in this movie. Because, first of all, you know the fucking joke already. Because I saw the original movie. It wasn't that long ago. Okay? It's not that long ago, the original movie. But it's like, so you know the punchline already, but it's also just so poorly done. All the dragons look the same from the cartoon version. So it's just like this confusing fucking mess of a movie where I don't know who it's made for. I don't know what's supposed to be entertaining about it, but I am so fucking sick of these live action remakes, and I'm putting my fucking foot down. I get maybe kids today would go see it and enjoy it. They could see it in 4DX and fly around with the dragon. But you could just re-release the original How to Train Your Dragon if you wanted to do that and put it in 4D. I don't know. This was such a fucking waste. Stop making these fucking live action remakes. Heart Eyes. And I don't know. This movie just... shit. The movie was just dumb and generic, and you're not supposed to think about anything. I hated the performances in it. I hated all the fucking characters. I wanted them to die. Next is gonna be Him. This was one of those movies when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, this movie can either be like a surprise hit, and I don't get it because the trailer was really crazy, or this movie is gonna be a big stinker. And it's gonna fail, and sure enough, that's exactly what it is. It's a total failure. I don't really care about football, but even if you do care about football, I mean, regardless, this movie sucks. I mean, there's nothing about it that's interesting. It doesn't do anything well. This was a huge blunder for Jordan Peele, who did not direct this movie, but he produced it. His company, Monkey Paw, produced it. The director of this movie, I don't know who the fuck made this, but he should never direct a movie again. This movie is horrible. It's horrible. It's nonsensical. It's not scary. Whenever it tries to be scary, it just comes across as goofy and laughable. This movie fucking sucks. Hurry Up Tomorrow. Starring The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega. This movie is, of course, directed by Trey Edward Schultz. Shocking that he would direct a movie as bad as this. It doesn't feel like he directed this movie. This movie feels like it was directed by The Weeknd. It feels like The Weeknd directed it, because it's all about how tortured The Weeknd is and how we have to see these close-up center frame shots of his face.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up! What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And Barry Keoghan is in the movie, and he was good. His character was interesting enough, trying to manage, this crazy pop star or whatever, but he wasn't in the movie enough. He was, barely in the movie. And then the ending of this movie, it was one of the worst fucking endings of the entire year. Flight Risk. The only reason this movie isn't lower is because it's fucking hysterical. Okay? It's so funny. And I loved it for its goofy scenes. Unbelievably bad. Almost to the point where it's so bad it's good. But yeah, I'd almost recommend you see Flight Risk just because of Mark Wahlberg and his dumb hair. The Minecraft movie, the fact that this is one of the highest grossing movies of the year, it might be the highest grossing, is an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed to be a human being. Shame. 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 It's fucking garbage. Incoherent, bad garbage that just makes me sick to my stomach. The whole movie looks like shit. This is the CGI shit. People complain about how Marvel movies fucking look. This movie looks like absolute dog shit. It's so poorly made and uncreative in every aspect. And it was just a bad Minecraft movie. It didn't do justice to anything Minecraft. It doesn't make people want to play it. It's just a shitty movie with shitty performances. Jason Momoa is fucking terrible. Jack Black is terrible. The movie's awful. It's not funny. It's a bunch of shit. Barbie, that was okay, we're gonna make a movie that's based on something kids like and whatever. It's a toy. And I don't even care about Barbie, but at least Barbie had the feminist messages. It had funny parts. It had good performances. Ryan Gosling in the movie was genuinely good as Ken. Next is The Electric State, a colossal waste of time, of money, of, I would say talent, but no talent went into making this movie. It is utter meaningless shit. Fuck this movie.
Fuck this movie.
Millie Bobby Brown, she cannot fucking act for shit. The story's stupid. It's just it's a fucking flaming comet of fucking garbage. Fucking robots, Mr. Peanut fucking teaming up with Chris Pratt and a fucking mullet and beard. It was just a bunch of fucking shit. It's just a bunch of fucking shit. They make you watch, you pay for. Unbelievable. So what can be worse than Electric State? What can be worse than the Minecraft movie? What can be worse than Flight Risk? How about motherfucking Snow White? Disney, you need to stop. Please, I'm begging you. I'm fucking begging you, Disney. Stop. Stop making these fucking live action remakes. You keep doing it. And I thought Snow White was gonna talk some sense into them and make them realize to stop doing the live action remakes. But then the Lilo and Stitch one made $1 billion. So they're probably gonna make more live action remakes. But I get they make money, but I am begging you, stop making these movies. Why don't you just write a new fucking story? Why don't you just come up with something original instead of remaking the same movies from 100 years ago? None of this has to do with Rachel Zegler or me not liking Rachel Zegler. I think Rachel Zegler is fine. I like Rachel Zegler just fine. I don't care what she said about the movie. I could care less. I'm just saying this because I don't want you to think that impeded my or infected my review of the movie or whatever. It doesn't. I think Rachel Zegler is just fine as a whatever celebrity actress. In this movie, she's bad. She has a really funk ass bob. But Gal Gadot, that was one of the worst performances of the year. This film was, of course, directed by Good Cut Got It Great Mark Webb. Good Cut Got It Great, good. Of course, and it definitely feels like a Mark Webb movie because it had no directorial vision. It was just crap, generic studio crap from start to end. Even like the costumes were shit. Gal Gadot's costume looked stupid. The Snow White costume looks stupid in live action. When you see it in the movie in live action, it looks stupid. All these shitty dwarves show up and they're CGI. We need 7 more characters because Disney mandated we throw in 7 more characters because they need to make the runtime longer. All of it, just a totally like brain dead approach to how to even remake one of these movies. Like, even if you were going by the lowest criteria for like live action remake, this movie does not hit any of the boxes. Like, the music sucks. I'm gonna be honest, I fast forward through some of the musical scenes because I just don't even want to hear this shit. Like, but it was so bad, the stuff I listened to. You know, I watched on Disney Plus. What is the worst? I'm like sweating here. Fucking Snow White, man, got me fucking #1 worst movie of the year. I mean, how can anyone argue that War of the Worlds is not the worst movie of the year? Like, War of the Worlds is absolutely the worst movie of the year. One of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. This movie is fucking hysterical. It is so bad. It's so poorly made. It's just, watching Ice Cube trying to act against nothing in this movie. Damn. There's a shit ton of Amazon product placement in the movie for no reason. It is just an absolute clusterfuck of a movie from start to end. It is so poorly made, an absolute embarrassment of a movie that I highly recommend you see. So yeah, thanks for watching. Support our sponsor, Movie Candles, and stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for watching.